Hey, what is going on, YouTube? Back today for episode 3 of Off the Ball podcast, joined with my fabulous co-hosts, Nick and Chad. How you guys doing today? How was your guys' week?
We're not gonna say anything about this. Okay, we'll get to it later. My week was great. I went 3-1, so it couldn't get any better, really. I mean, a 4-0 could have gotten better, but yeah, I'll take it.
You take with
You
3 and 1.
definitely 7-1 to start the year. You're definitely not
Mm,
mad at it at
Yeah,
all.
no.
Nah.
Yeah.
What about
Um.
what about you,
y-
Malozzi? How'd you do? Have a better week this week?
No. Same as last week. I went 1-2. Although I flipped my wins in one of the leagues. I will continue in Toxic League to lose for the rest of the season.
That's
But
nothing new.
it is actually.
It is very, very new. Usually,
It actually is a new thing for that league. But yeah, that team is just. I don't even. I try not to even think about that team.
no, I
But
completely agree. I mean, that team looks a little rough. But I mean, you can't be having a worse week than I did. Your boy went 0-6 this week, and it all came down to Sunday night games because Sunday night's players popped off, but my players were done by Sunday night. So did not work out well for me. As you guys can see, I made a bet. I am wearing a shit shirt and a clown
Hey,
outfit just to complete the ensemble. But yeah, I lost a bet to Nick, and yeah, so I'm here sitting here wearing a Dallas Cowboys shirt. Nick, how do you feel
you
about
look
this?
you look awful. I just want you to know that.
I think
so
this might be the worst looking I've ever been.
I think you look amazing. So
The hair
the
is
the
fine.
beauty the beauty of it is him and I made this bet, and if I would have been sitting here in a Cardinals jersey had I lost, which to me would have been terrible. But not only did he lose to me, he lost because of my Dallas Cowboys players. So that made it's a double win for me.
Yeah, yeah, it was hurtful, especially because like
Mhm.
going into that game, I had high hopes because Cincinnati didn't do that well, and your team consists of
Mhm.
Cincinnati and the Cowboys,
Yep.
so they didn't do so well, and then your Cowboys came out and put a lot of points on me, and I didn't have a terrible week. I just didn't have a good week. But
Mhm.
yeah, just across the board, we'll see it here in a little bit. My weeks were meh. My weeks were meh. So let's go jump right into it with the first league this week. We're gonna jump into easy dubs. So let's go ahead and get this on the board. That is not easy dubs, but we'll go over here real quick. Starting off in here, we have Kelsey U in the finals. That's me going against Matt. It's never sunny in Philly. I lost 100 to 123. This one, yeah, we lost again. Actually, we lost for the first time in this league. We always beat Theo. I had a bad week, but it sucks. Theo goes 0-2, losing this week. He actually scored 122, but he lost to Nick. Nick taking him down. So the podcast. So currently Theo is 0-2 against the podcast. You love to see it. You love to see it.
I
Congratulations,
couldn't
Nick.
let him. I couldn't let him beat me after what he always loses to you. He was beating me.
Yeah, you had to come
I
from behind victory like this
Yeah, I
whole
couldn't let
week.
him do the podcast like that.
Yeah, exactly. We had to make sure that Theo knew he was playing someone on the podcast. But we got going for gold, which Natalie going up against Big Dick Jerry Jones. She took him down. She started off the season 2-0, 135
Mhm.
scored. Very nice, very nice. We had King Judge, which is Isaiah, taking down Zane, starting off this season 0-2 as well. And then finally we have Hitting Rugs losing to Big Dog Bites. So Shelby taking the newcomer, starting off 2-0, taking down
Mhm.
Chris, and he's starting off 0-2. Rough. Which game do you guys want to dive in here? We got a couple close games here.
Let's go, Natalie.
Natalie?
Let's
All
go,
right.
Natalie and Damien, because that's a big difference. I want to see what happened with Damien
Yeah,
here.
let's see how he fell apart real quick. So, Big Dick Jerry Jones starting off with QB1 Patrick Mahomes, Javante Williams, Najee Harris, Jerry Judy, Jamar Chase, Evan Ingram, Alexander Madison, Nick Folk, and the Buffalo Bills defense. Like looking at that team, like how do you have 83 points? Well, uh, there's some discrepancies there. What do you want to say? What do you want to talk about, Nick?
Natalie got a 135 and crushed him, and she had Chubb.
And she had Chubb.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean Rashad White popped off for her. T. Higgins popped off for her. C.D. Lamb popped off for her. Goddard got her 8. That's what you can expect from a tight end that's not Kelsey or Andrews. Butker. I mean their lowest points were 3 with the Green Bay Packers, but around the board, like she had a lot of double digits, a lot of close to 30 points, and Damien's team just underperformed. Javonte Williams 7. That's terrible. I mean. Is he playing like he's hurt? Because Nick Chubb got 6 before he got hurt. But Najee Harris with 5.3, he was non-existent the whole game. I don't think he got any points until the fourth quarter.
Second week in a row.
Yeah, I mean,
I was so down on him. In the initial podcast, I was so down on him, and so far he has been exactly what he was for me last year. This is what I dealt with all last season with Najee Harris, and it's continuing into this season.
Yeah, because it feels like it's a player that you have to start because the pop-off potential. But then now, like it's a year and now 2 games in a row where, this guy, you got to find someone better than Najee Harris at this point. Like he's not going to be a player you can play every week, maybe into matchups. But then again, they went against Cleveland, and Cleveland shut down Cincinnati the week before, so. Maybe play the matchup this week going with the Najee Harris. Maybe give him one more chance, but we'll see how it goes. Jerry Jeudy getting shut down, 5 points. Jamar Chase, ridiculous, getting 8 points. I mean, he's
off to a rough start.
That's your first round draft pick. People took this guy over Christian McCaffrey this year, and he's giving you 8 points in week 2, 0 points in week 1. Absolutely ridiculous. Evan Ingram continue to pop off. I mean, 11 points from your tight end. You take that. I mean, I think he's rated one of the top 5 wide receiver or tight ends right now at the position. Alexander Madison, another guy that's been super bust. I mean, he showed potential last year. He's the RB1 over there, but he just can't get it done for some reason. And it's not like the lack of touches or anything. He just, I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, looking at those 2 teams. You can see kind of where Damien fell apart is his running backs for sure. Like he has 3 running backs on the board. They gave him a combined 16 points. So that's gonna hurt you.
Yeah.
She outscored in everything besides tight end, kicker, and defense, which is you're always gonna win if that's the case.
Yeah, exactly. If your wide receivers, QB, and running backs are outscoring the other guys, it doesn't matter what the rest is.
Yeah.
All right, let's jump into points galore over here. This is going to be the crazy league. We had me going up against the person we just talked about, Natalie. I lost a close one here, 673 to 716. It's Always Sunny in Philly continues his winning streak against NFC East. So this is Nick. Nick's one loss this week, going down to Mateo, and then we got Isaiah going against Charles King, yeah. This is the one you won. So congratulations on your first win in the Crazy League. Let's go, baby. Keeping them at 1-1. And then we have It's the Problem. It's me going against another L for you. So Chris, he got to win. He got his first win of the season. He really needed that. Let's go, Chris. So he started off 1-1.
1,000-pointer.
Yeah, 1,000 points. This is the one we're going to dive into. He had some people pop off, and Kim had some people not pop off. So let's go ahead and run down this. He had Lamar, always a solid in this league. He's a running quarterback along with the throwing quarterback. So 184 from him. Raheem Mostert. That's a shocker for me. Yeah,
who would have thunk it?
Who has Raheem Mostert in a league where there's only 8 teams with no benches? But he played his gut. He got 140 out of him. Almost outscored Christian McCaffrey. So 144 from him. Keenan Allen had a game and a half this week.
Yeah.
So 131 points from him. Amon-Ra St. Brown. He did not have the best fantasy PPR week, but he got yardage, which, he's sitting at 103 right now. Darren Waller.
That workhorse.
Yeah. Kenneth Walker, 67. Kenneth Walker outscoring Mostert. Young Ho Koo with 140 points, so that man was kicking it out there. And then his Cincinnati Bengals defense was 26. I mean, top to bottom, he outscored her in every single position but flex. No, and
And
defense.
defense?
Flex
And defense, yeah.
flex and defense. But you can see the point differential there. Like he had multiple under 40. Jamar Chase, like, what are you doing, my brother? What is going on in Cincinnati? George Kittle with 33,
Yeah.
which is respectable. James Conner, surprisingly, 112 points. You know, he got those yards down in in an offense that looked completely horrible in the second half. But yeah, looking over this, like, any outstanding players here for you guys?
I mean, I obviously like Monster. I think the thing with him is like didn't Tua throw for like 450 yards or something like that in week 1?
Yes.
Mhm.
Right. So like the last thing that I think any of us are thinking in week 2 is that they're gonna run 60% of the time.
Yeah.
60% of their offensive plays are gonna be running plays. I don't think any of us saw that coming. Like Waddle and Hill both just had like kind of like the Waddle kind of more at average, but Hill more at floor.
Yeah.
Which I don't think anybody saw coming after the week before. So I like Mostert is obviously the other one. The only other one for me is just Calvin Ridley. Like after that monster week that he had week 1, I think all of us were just like, yo, T-Law and Ridley are just gonna go wild this year. And then he comes out week 2 and like there's just nothing.
Yeah, that was super disappointing for me as well. I'm a big Calvin Ridley fan, and just, you know, he was lackluster. I mean, they were going against Kansas City Chiefs, and they haven't been able to beat them in the past. So it's kind of like one of those Cincinnati situations with Cleveland. But I mean, they came out and they didn't have, like, Trevor Lawrence didn't have a bad game. I think he still scored like 17 points in the PPR league.
And yeah, fantasy semi irrelevant, but
Yeah, it was like a mediocre game. But I mean, like I said, they're playing against Kansas City Chiefs. Chiefs have their number. For some reason, they just don't match up well against them. But hopefully for a bounce back week next week from Calvin Ridley for sure.
I'll tell you who's going to have a bounce back week next week. And this is historically, and this is matchup wise. Kenneth Walker. Expect to see that number much higher next week.
Kenneth Walker, do you think he has like week on, week off?
They're going against Carolina, and historically, he'll pop off next week.
Okay. We'll see it. I mean, I'm a big Kenneth Walker fan. I do like their other running back that they picked up, the Zach Charbonnet. I think he's a really solid. You know, I think he's gonna get a lot more touches later on in the year. Hopefully, see some potential in him. But Kenneth Walker's been doing his thing over there, so we'll see if he pops off next week for Chris. So we're jumping in here to the Living Legacy. This is the Dynasty League. We had me going against Nick on the podcast here, 114 to 141. Like I said, I was leading, and the projections were looking good going into this one. And we fell apart in the long run. That Sunday, the afternoon games where Dallas came in, and you know
this one
we'll look in depth in this one. So then we got LaGrassi Wiener going against Jason Legacy, 154 to 75. Like nice little win there for. Pretty sure that's Chris going against Jason Legacy. Jason, who?
That's Natalie.
Is that Natalie? Okay. So at least one of the brothers took it down this week. So then we got Matt going up against Trey McBride is the next Travis Kelce. So Zane starting off 2-0 in the Dynasty League. Like, I'll tell you what, when we drafted, he did not look like he had a good team. I don't know where these points are coming from. But maybe we could dive into it a little bit later. But then we had Straw Hats going against Arizonians Are the Worst, which is Mr. Malozzi himself. He went ahead and took the L. Straw Hats put up a great performance, 139. You know, there's some high scores in this league this week, and then also like Natalie scoring 75 points. So the crazy weeks, obviously, in fantasy football. But let's go ahead and dive into our game real quick, Nick. So this is me going against you. This is for the bet. This is the reason why I'm wearing this shirt and hat. Scroll up.
Right there.
We don't want to look at this. No one wants to look at this.
That's when you can see what happened.
Yeah, this is right here. We'll use the mouse. This is me confident in my bet right here, and then this is the parlay not hitting right here. So like I just started, you know. Yeah,
you flatline, bro.
I
You just
flatlined.
flatline.
Yeah.
You're like, here I come.
And then, I had Najee with the hopes that he could score 40 points, but, he gives me 6. So, fuck him, right?
Yeah. Bro, fuck Najee Harris.
Najee Harris. He is the worst. All right, so we got Jalen Hurts going against Joe Burrow. I beat you there. I had a really solid Thursday night game. I had Jalen Hurts, and then I had I didn't have a kicker in there. There's another league. I had the kicker, but yeah, 25 points starting off the week. You love to see it. I mean, I'll score your Joe Burrow by 7 or 10 points. Dalvin Cook, big disappointment going into Dallas. I risked it for the biscuit. I was like, hey, maybe the Jets defense will keep them off the field a little bit longer, or keep them on the field a little longer. But no, a 0.2 from Dalvin Cook. Joe Mixon giving him 13. Najee Harris with 5. Fuck that guy. Tony Pollard gives you 19. CeeDee Lamb with 25. You love to see it. Michael Pittman, 13. Amon-Ra St. Brown, lackluster game at 14. Ja'Marr Chase giving you 8, which was I think your weakest link at this point. Ja'Marr Chase, which is crazy to say, your weakest link is Ja'Marr
who
Chase.
thought you would be saying that?
After week 2, yeah. And Darren Waller giving you 13, going against Travis Kelce. I mean, Kelce gives me 12, coming back from an injury. That's not bad. Deebo Samuel giving you 22. Mike Evans shocked me. Gave me 29.
Popped off. Him and Baker, they're cool.
Yeah, him and Baker are seeing some touches. So Mike Evans is definitely going to be staying on the roster going forward until they can prove otherwise. I mean, he dropped 20 the first week, 29 this week. So I'm gonna ride with Mike Evans. Matt Gay, 7 points from the kicker. Daniel Carlson, 4 points. Defense gave me 7 for San Francisco 49ers going up against LA. They gave up some useless touchdowns over there. And then the Dallas Cowboys, defense doing it again. 20 points. That's, hey, back to back. That defense is legit.
Yo, that might be pick of the year. I mean, they're scary. Yo, that defense is scary. I don't even know if this continues along. It's just like, yo, Nick, that was, especially because it's across the board. You know what I'm saying? I feel like
all 4 leagues.
Yeah, it's across the board, and that's if that ends up being the pick that it looks like it's going to end up being, good shit.
Oh yeah, I mean, you expect the defense, especially in a normal PPR league, to get you 8 to 12 points, if that, and that's your happy point. If the first week they put up 33, now they're putting up 20. Your defense is outscoring a majority of your team. Your defense is outscoring your quarterback in 2 weeks. That's wild. I mean, hey, you'd love to see it though. I mean, Nick's played it right. He got the defense choice that he wanted. We were kind of giving him shit about it at the beginning of the podcast, but hey, we're eating our words at this point because I'm wearing a Dallas Cowboy fucking shirt.
It was 42 week 1.
42 week 1? Oh my god.
So they're averaging 31 points a week.
30? Oh, that's it for defense? What is this, crazy league numbers? But let's go ahead and jump into the Toxic League real quick. So we got the McCaffrey Creamers. That's me going against Brent. Billy the Goat complete his ensemble and he took down Chris week 1. Now he took down me week 2. So he's, the Flores family's going to have to bounce back from that. But he took me down 100 to 117. Justin taking down the disappointments. Justin's continuing his win streak, man. I think he's up to 13 or 14 wins in a row from last season. So congratulations, Justin. Little shout out to you. Thumb in the bum going down to J Ray. That was a real close game right there between Chris and J Ray. Less than a point to separate them two. Mr. Spider taking down Fiddy's Bodega. So Chad going against Georgie. Georgie pulling off that win. Chad had another rough week in this league. I don't see any easy weeks coming forward. Then Half Chub going against the one and only 151 right there. That's a solid score right there. I believe Half Chub is Jonah and the one and only is Gabe. So Gabe taking the 0-2 start this season. Absolutely abysmal. Let's go ahead and just jump into another one of Chris's games. I mean, 1 point loss here. Let's see where it went wrong. Let's see where it went wrong because it was right up to the wire. Right up to the wire up here. They were both.
What's that red dot?
That red dot is Thielen seals edge for Sanders. 13-yard burst on Panthers' first drive.
There's the win right there.
There's the win right there. So if we look into here, so Miles Sanders probably the only player I see on here. Only player on here that played Monday night, right?
No. Oh yeah, Monday night.
Monday night. Yeah.
Murder,
Okay, so
murder.
yeah, so Chris was going into this week or into Monday night winning 123 to, so he only got 7, so 123 to 118. Miles Sanders did
Yeah.
just enough. He did just enough to secure that win. Justin Fields let down J. Ray over there, 14 points this week. Bijan Robinson with 21 points. I mean, that kid's showing that he's a number 1 pick, I guess. He's 2 back-to-back weeks where he's doing decent. 21 points is, I mean, you love to see that. Calvin really disappointing. Jamar Chase. I mean, J. Ray's got solid wide receivers here, and they just gave a mediocre performance, but that T.J. Hawkinson, 25 points out of that guy. You love to see it. Mike Evans with another 29, Tyler Bass 8, and San Francisco 49ers with 5. So, like, real good matchup back and forth. I mean, Keenan Allen for 31, James Conner for 16, and damn, it was a close one. This one hurts.
This one definitely hurts. Sorry, I've got to squint.
Are you good?
Yeah,
that's crazy.
If you click on the video on the bottom, it'll make it bigger. No? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, but yeah, so Chris going down to J. Ray in a close one. I mean, not much really to say about this. Like, it's just a tough loss. Chris was stressing it going into the week, or going into that Monday night game, and as soon as Miles Sanders got the last point, I think Chris just said, fuck fantasy football. But I think we've all had that feeling more than once.
Yeah, we definitely have.
It's always the Monday nights that fuck us.
I'm never doing fantasy football again for the past 6 seasons, though.
Wait, real quick, what is everybody's like worst fantasy football personal fantasy football story that you've had?
This right now, like me right now, this week, is the worst possible outcome. Wearing the worst possible goddamn shirt. Yeah.
Yeah, to go 0-6 for your Cardinals to
give them a 20-point lead.
Yeah, that's understandable.
I've lost 4 leagues by a combined. It was like 22 or 23 points combined across the 4 leagues.
That's
so
horrible.
in 1 week.
Horrible.
Yeah,
that's horrible.
It was all just a couple points here and there.
Oh,
I lost a playoff game by 0.4.
Oh, I did that too. Najee Harris 2 years ago. Najee Harris.
You lost the play, and that would have been your first semi-playoffs win. Oh,
yeah, I won. That's the year that I won the Capital League, and I was in the Super Bowl in another league, and I literally lost because Najee Harris, in the final few seconds where he should have stopped on the 1-yard line, but he ran it in.
Yeah. Hey,
Najee Harris.
Fuck Najee Harris. All right, so we're gonna go real quick over the ESPN league. So loose passes go. So I was going against Chris this league. We challenged each other to see who could score the least. So we had Chris.
So you lost.
Yeah, I lost that. Chris went 81. I went 71. I really had a bad week. This is this league. I scored 150 last week. So yeah, this is a bad week here for me. Team Cisco taking down Game of Thrones, starting off the season 1-1. To Game of Thrones 0-2. Billy Goat, Brett keeps it chugging. He's 2-0 in this league as well. Take down Saints and Sinners. Sunday Nights taking down Jeezy's MD by less than a point. So that's a real close one there too. Niner Gang taking down Lord of Touchdowns to start the season 1-1. So I'm 1-1 this season. I'm not concerned about this league as much as I am with my other ESPN league we'll discuss real quick. But yeah, I mean, across the board, we have some high scores, we have some low point games, but I mean, it's a real balanced league so far, seems like. I mean, the drafting went a little crazy, but we'll talk about it a little later. So we'll go to the ESPN here. I got blown out this week. Watch Rocket scores 166 points. He had Mike Evans, Nakua, and Sam Howell all score over 21 points. With Nakua, Puka Nakua scoring 30 points this week. I mean, the kid's a stud.
He used to say the name.
The kid's a stud. I mean, I think even when Cooper Kupp comes back, he still has fantasy potential being that wide receiver.
He's got it, bro. Yo, if he's as good as he's looked so far, imagine having him and Kupp crossing across the field the whole fucking game. How do you defend that?
Yeah, it's disgusting. Put me in, coach, taking down for Shizzle my Nizzle, 109-90. Team Virgil taking down Too Fast, 138-132. Billy the Goat losing in this league to his wife,
Oof,
92-87.
I've
Oh,
been
what
there.
a what a
Eek.
tough game right there.
Eek.
5 points. Rough. Game of Throws going against Team the Niners. Lost
Ooh, close game.
another close game there by 2 point separation, and then the
Mhm.
12-year-old losing to Team Weeks, 116-106. So yeah, a lot of close games. A lot of, I mean,
Not that top one.
Quatch Rocket blew me out. He blew my back out, boys. Blew my,
Oop, looks like something went wrong.
Oh, we're gonna just go. We have technical difficulties. We're just gonna go back to our full screen. And Nick, you want to go ahead and pull up your league real quick?
Sure can.
It doesn't even want to focus on the Dallas shirt because it knows it's horrible.
It knows that's too good for it. It keeps trying to only focus on the Dallas shirt. That's the only thing it wants to look at there.
Yeah.
All right. Here's me going up against Gracie. Beat her 95-77. We kind of took a look at Gracie's team last week, and you kind of tore it down, Chad. It's Gracie, if you're watching, that was only Chad that tore it down. Um, here we got Jose beating Michael 121-118. Close game.
Yep.
Let's see, Alexis. Remember we talked about Alexis a lot last year because she was just down at the bottom, just terrible. There's no other way to say it. She was terrible last season. She's starting off the season 2-0 over Adrian here. You got Kim squeaking it out over Juan and Annabella, pulling
Nice.
a 127.38 to 123.54. And then you got Lorenzo taking a loss to ball funnelers. That's Luis pulling out a victory 129 to 109. So
Nice.
did you want to look into anything in particular here?
This look.
Can we go? Why did Addison have more points than Pollard this week?
16.2
Yeah, did he
to
do better than
19.9.
Pollard? I thought
No,
Pollard did better. All right.
it is 19.9. That's 16.2.
Yeah, he's got about 3 points.
I thought it was 15.9. I'm shot. That's what I thought. That's why I was confused. I had to like get close to the screen to see that. I thought Pollard did better than Addison did. That's why I was confused because I'm seeing that as 15.9. My bad.
So this is the only league that I don't have Pollard in.
Oh. You better trade for him then.
I know. I need to.
Sacrifice everything.
Sacrifice everything. Dallas
I picked up Zach Moss this week, and he popped off, so it worked out.
Yeah, let's dive into your box score real quick because you got kind of had a low scoring week. She had obviously a lower score week, so you love to see that. But let's see where kind of like you fell apart here because
I'll tell you where I fell apart. It's right here. Austin Eckler and Aaron Jones were my starting 2 running backs.
Yep.
That hurts.
I left Puka Nacua on the bench.
That hurts.
Yep.
Hurts a lot.
And then I left Dalton Schultz in over Hunter Henry.
And I mean, at this point,
which is a 50-50.
Yeah, but I think at this point, like Hunter Henry, the first 2 weeks, he's proven like he could be your tight end 1.
Yeah, not week 3 though.
Not week 3. Who are they going against week 3?
I forget who he's going against week 3.
Just hit that drop button real quick. See what happens.
The what?
Hit that drop button real quick. See what
this
happens.
One right here?
Yeah, that one.
They're going against the Jets.
The goddamn Jets. Yeah, so we'll see how the Jets bounce back after that dismal performance in Dallas.
Yeah, the Jets normally play the Bills pretty well too. Those are typically close, tight-knit games.
Yeah. So we should see a little bounce back from the Jets defense there. But yeah, I mean, Cowboys defense outscoring a majority of your team is still wild to me.
Yeah.
I mean, but this is a league where you had Austin Eckler and Aaron Jones out. Sorry, Chad. You had Austin Eckler and Aaron Jones out. So, I mean, to win this week is big.
I did not think it was going to happen. I was honestly surprised. Because really, I mean, picking up Zach Moss just off the waiver wire before. I think I picked him up Sunday morning, and I was just like, oh, let's throw him in there because that looks like the best thing I could do. It was. So
I also benefited from Moss this week. He was a pickup
Mhm.
because I lost Eckler in one of my leagues as well, and you're never mad at a 20-point replacement performance.
especially an hour before the game starts, like
Yeah.
before the morning game start.
Nick, if you put different players in, you would have had a ridiculous score this week. It like looking at your bench, it's like, damn, if you made some different moves, you
If
would
I
have
was a better
popped
manager,
off. Nah, like I mean, I would
yeah, no,
like Waddle and Brown have to be starting tight ends, and I probably would have started Nakua over Zay Flowers but everything else I would have done what you did here though.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
In the situation he is in, yeah, I would have played the
Mhm.
exact same with that roster. The P Ryan, I don't know, like you're not gonna play him besides this week because you have Austin Eckler and Aaron Jones as soon as they're back. But
I like what P Ryan's doing,
you
but
feeling the P Ryan
not
train?
over Eckler Jones.
Gotcha. No, I
I
mean,
might play P Ryan in a flex position depending on which week, but
how disappointing has AJ Brown been so far?
oh
Yeah,
my
yikes.
goodness.
Yikes.
Like,
There's a
Honestly,
lot
right
there's a
now
lot of
though,
players.
right now, I think there's a couple players who are like a buy low, sell high type of deal. I think AJ Brown is one of them. I think people are getting rid of AJ Brown. Um, I'm not going to. I think he's just in a slump right now. I'll give it another couple weeks. I think, and sorry to say this, Adam, because I know you don't feel the same way. I think Mike Evans is a sell high candidate.
yeah, I mean, there's very clear case for that. I mean, last year he fell off midseason, but I think Mike Evans is Baker Mayfield's safety net, and I think it's going to continue to that be all season. So I'm going to ride with Mike Evans. The person that I'm
Mm-hmm.
more interested in right now is going to be Josh Jacobs. He's had two mediocre weeks. People drafted him really high. I think if you go into
Buy
leagues
low.
and you can buy him real low right now, depending on the rest of the season, I think he's going to be a target of mine, especially in the league where I'm stacked in wide receivers and kind of lackluster in running backs. I think I'm going to go after Josh Jacobs here, maybe shop around AJ Brown, just
Mm-hmm.
because like everyone knows the potential of AJ Brown, everyone knows the
Oh yeah.
potential of Josh Jacobs, but I think a couple of my teams I went wide receiver a little too heavy, and then left my running backs to out to dry. So we'll see how that goes. But go ahead.
One more. I think if he's available, which he should be in most, I think a good pickup off the waiver wire is going to be Taysom Hill. With the running
What's
back
up, boys?
situation, with the running back situation right now for the Saints, I think they're going to use him. So if you don't have a good tight end, I think he's well worth. They're going to put him in some running back schemes. I know.
Yeah, I mean he's a tight end that can throw the ball, run the ball,
Hmm.
kickoff returns. That guy does everything. So he's never a bad option. It's just you never know what you're gonna get. Like, is he gonna see the field?
Right. And I want that's what I'm saying. I think he will with the Saints running situation. Jamal Williams just got injured and he was second.
Yeah,
I mean
very
behind
true.
Kamara.
Behind Kamara, when is Kamara coming back? Isn't it 4 game suspension?
4 game suspension. So you still got another week or two of a dismal running back situation.
Yeah, I completely agree. Who was your guys' biggest disappointment of the week? Chad, you could go ahead and fill this one first.
Yeah.
Yeah, please.
Biggest disappointment of the week is it's it's probably Jamar Chase. I mean, like just even more than Burrow, it's Jamar Chase. I mean, he was a lot of people's first round draft pick, and I mean, he has just been like non-existent so far. Like I mean, and I know that's the entire offense over there, but Well, minus I guess T Higgins in the second week.
Yeah, he
But
put up 28, but he
yeah,
also gave you
yeah,
0 for week 1.
yeah. He's probably my biggest disappointment. And if I can even just add on to this, like the person that is like my biggest like surprise, like Nick, you were talking about players like to pick up off the like waiver wire.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of leagues have Matthew Stafford as a free agent, and Stafford's the number 4 quarterback in the NFL right now. And I think people forget he's a monster when he's good. And if he has 2 weapons now, he's a major weapon. So, for people who are looking for like quarterback help, he's a decent option.
So who's number 1 right now in the league?
Kirk Cousins.
Kirk Cousins.
Kirk Cousins. What is
Yeah.
this season?
Yeah,
Yeah, bro.
they started off 0-2, and he's number 1 in the league.
Oh my goodness.
He puts up Kirk Cousins' career stats are fucking wild. He just hasn't won anything.
Oh,
It's
man.
crazy.
It's fucking wild. He has ridiculous stats, and he does it every week, but they don't win. They can't close out games.
Mm-mm.
But him and Justin Jefferson just have this connection. But even him, like in Hawkinson, popped off this week with under him.
Addison.
Yep, Addison.
Addison looking scary.
Yeah, I mean, just like they have the weapons. I just don't understand how they can't close out games. But go ahead, Nick. Who's your biggest disappointment this week?
He's not on any of my teams. But he replaced someone who was on my teams, Joshua Kelly. And you and I were talking about this right before we started. Just got shut down by Tennessee. I expected bigger things.
Oh, 100%. Like we knew Titans defense, run defense is actually pretty decent. But Joshua Kelly has been a stud when Eckler's gone down before.
Mm-hmm.
And for him to come in and was it 6 points in PPR?
3.9.
3.9. Ridiculous.
Yeah,
yeah. I mean, yeah, that's sad there going there. Yeah, I mean, he's a big disappointment, but he's filling in for Austin Eckler. He went into a tough defense, but a lot of people picked him up because they know the potential Joshua Kelly brings to the table.
Mm-hmm.
I would say my biggest disappointment this week, it's got to be AJ Brown for me at least, because I have him a couple leagues, but I mean the Eagles' offense didn't look the best week 1. But they turned it on a little bit more week 2. Devonta Smith, got his touches. Goddard got some touches. DeAndre Swift popped off. But it's just AJ Brown. Like it just seems like he's lost a little bit of his touch. He's lost a little bit of his his drive. I don't know really how to say it because like this guy has the potential to give you 35 points in a week, but then now you see the floor at 6 points. It's kind of ridiculous for your wide receiver 1.
You know what, Adam? In response to that, though, right? Like, or is Devonta Smith just getting that good, right? Because he's like he's in his 3rd season now. He's starting to like enter his prime, and like you're a Cowboys fan, Nick. You've watched him play. Yo, he's special. You know what I'm saying? Like he is special, and it's just sort of like maybe he's just now becoming that good that they're running the majority of the offense now through him over AJ Brown. And we'll see if that trend continues. But I agree with what you said about AJ Brown. It that shit hurt. If you have him,
it hurts.
that shit hurts.
That shit hurts.
It hurts.
I mean, especially. Oh, go ahead.
For me to pick him up as soon as I did. So he was, I want to say the Capital League. I want to say he was my first pick.
He probably was.
Oh, no, Eckler was. He was my second pick.
Okay.
So
still like wide receiver 1.
Yeah, he was my wide receiver 1 pick. And it hurts to take a Philly player that early and then to have him turn on you.
Oh, so maybe that's why he knows that you drafted him specifically, and he's just like waiting for you to trade him. so that he could pop off.
So he could pop
I'm gonna
off?
need you to go ahead and trade him this week.
Never gonna happen. He could sit
Yo,
my bench.
AJ Brown, mad disrespectful, bro. Because I'm dealing with it too. I don't know why you got to do that.
I don't know why
bro.
he has to do the rest of fantasy football all because Nick drafted him. It's the worst.
It's crazy. Truthfully, if it means that AJ Brown isn't that good this year as a Giants fan, I'll sacrifice him for the year. I'm good with it.
I'm talking to the wrong people about sacrificing AJ Brown. Matt's gonna be like, "Hey, yo, what the fuck?" But I mean,
I'm cool with it.
I want to reiterate this again from last week that Williams from running back for the Los Angeles Rams, that man had another great game. Like I think he dropped 28 this week. And I'm sure he was on a lot of people's benches just because, like, week one, you pick him up. Yeah, he did decent. But, I mean, the Rams are looking halfway decent. Like, this is without Cooper Kupp. When Kupp
Just
comes
imagine
back,
when they get him back and they got those dual threat wide receivers.
and then a stud running back there without Cam Akers taking any touches. That'd be awesome. Finally, there'll be somebody.
Hey, leave Cam alone, okay? He's a nice guy.
Finally, there'll be somebody on the Rams that you could trust as a running back. But this kid looks good. I think he's a good pickup. I mean, he's still available in a lot of leagues. So if you guys are stretching for a running back, every running back decides they want to get hurt week 1 and week 2. Rest in peace, Nick Chubb. Because my man's knee looks like he's not going to be back for a while. But, yeah, I mean, just...
Yo, Kareem Hunt, where you at?
I believe they got him back. Right? Did they? So I was talking to someone at work, and they're saying that Kareem Hunt is possible coming back to Cleveland. So does that not entice a lot of people?
Maybe.
I wouldn't.
You wouldn't?
If I was him, after the disrespect they threw, nah.
Hey.
Yo, I'm sorry. Yo, Deshaun Watson sucks. He doesn't like I get that he like rushes for a lot of yards and stuff, but like, bro, he sucks at throwing the football.
I mean, yeah, because like when he popped off, he had DeAndre Hopkins, right? When he was throwing the ball a lot in Tennessee or Texas.
Mm-hmm.
So but there's no excuse. He has Amari Cooper. He's got Amari Cooper. He's got a couple other weapons over there, and I mean they had Kareem Hunt, so he was a workhorse. But yeah, I don't know what's going on with Deshaun Watson. Maybe
he's the number 21 ranked quarterback right now. Week 1, 16 of 29, 154 yards, 1 pass, touchdown,
and they
1
won.
interception, 3 sacks, and then 5 rushes for 45 yards and a touchdown. And then week 2. He went 22 for 40. So he threw 18 incomplete passes. That's horrific. 235 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, 6 sacks, 6 rushes for 22 yards, no rushing touchdowns. I feel like a couple people like played Deshaun Watson, but watching him for 2 weeks he doesn't look good.
No.
Like he is very inaccurate and does not throw a good ball. I get that he's got rushing capabilities, but I don't know. I don't feel like he's the answer over there in Cleveland at the end of the day.
No, I completely agree with you. I mean, at this point, they could have threw Baker Mayfield back there still, and I think they have the same amount of production out of them.
Yeah.
I think Baker Mayfield would have better production.
Agreed. He's got Mike Evans, and that O-line of the Buccaneers is light years better than the O-line of the Cleveland Browns. So,
100%.
I don't know. Yeah, and Baker, those two look good. They're connecting this year, so
let's keep that up. Let's keep that up.
what do you guys think about Justin Fields? I think a lot of people were expecting him to have like those 112 rushing yard, 220 yard passing games, right? Like what are your thoughts here? Do you start him next week or do you try something different?
I let me jump in here. I had him in Crazy League for that reason. I recently, and he's on the you'll hear first here, Adam, if you want to go pick him up.
I'm good.
I dropped him for Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, smart move.
Smart move.
Yep.
I mean,
Mr. Consistent.
Yeah, I feel like that's a no-brainer at this point, especially with the Crazy League, because Kirk Cousins is putting up so much goddamn yards. It's ridiculous.
Hmm.
And I mean, until he proves otherwise, like Kirk Cousins is a start now. Unless you have one of the top three quarterbacks, I feel like Kirk Cousins is a lock to start every
Joe
week.
Burrow.
He, no, I'm talking about Hurts, Mahomes, Josh Allen. I mean, those are the top three guys. Everyone knows. But Justin Fields, yeah, like what Chad was saying, Justin Fields, he was getting taken like QB5 in the draft because everyone
Mhm.
was looking for that running potential. And I saw a play from him from the game, and I don't know if he tried to like shovel pass it or what, but threw it straight to the defender on the 2 yard line, gets pushed into the end zone for an interception for a touchdown. It's
Yeah.
just like what this is his what second year, third year,
Oh,
third. Justin
Er,
Fields. There's Justin Fields. His third year, right?
this is his third. Yeah, he's the same. Wait, isn't he the same rookie year? Yeah, Jamar Chase is in his third year, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah. He's in the same draft class as Mac Jones too. Yeah, third
Yeah.
year.
So third year, looking at Justin Fields, like you got 3 years in this league, you've been starting. So like, what's going on over there? Like,
Mhm.
come on, my guy, get it together. Get it together. He's a bit of a
I
big disappointment.
I think though that also has something to do with they told him to stop running it as much. They told him they don't want him getting hurt. They don't want him, they want him running. They made plays for him to run, but they don't want him running on every play. And I think that's cutting into his thought process. Like normal times where he would just sprint out and run, now he's like, oh, hold on, that's not what I'm supposed to do anymore.
Yeah, but like if you get
So
a
I'm not
mobile
putting it
quarterback like
completely on
that,
him.
yeah, I mean it's majority on him though. Like
Yeah,
you have a more mobile
definitely.
quarterback, like you have to be looking to get that run. I mean, if you're not as good of a thrower as some of these guys in the league, like Kirk Cousins, when you make the defense think that you're going to run the ball every time, like that opens up your lanes for you. So like I
Right.
think they need to reintroduce that back into the offense and get him going to where he was like feeling a lot more comfortable, and hopefully we see a better Justin Fields down the line. But I want to give some slander to somebody because I feel like they never get talked about other than how good they are, like how
Travis
great they.
Kelsey.
No, I'm talking about Justin Herbert. This guy, he's a great quarterback. Don't get me wrong. He puts up the numbers, but they can't win games.
Nah,
The Chargers can't win games. So like,
it's
why has no
they're
one
0-2.
why has no one like they give Justin Fields slander, they give Trevor Lawrence slander, they give Joe Burrow slander, like, but Justin Herbert, like, he gets the ball 2 minute offense, he gets the ball with a chance to win the game, and he 99% of the time he's not winning that game. Like, at what point, like, do the people just stop fucking turning on Justin Herbert?
I mean, it's a valid question. Like, I feel like Josh Allen, Justin Herbert, Joe Burrow, even though like Burrow's gotten killed a little bit, but I mean, for Burrow, I mean, it's been abysmal. Like, at least Herbert hasn't been abysmal. Burrow has been abysmal, but I just feel like those three dudes have this like quiet elite. Oh, and Mahomes too have this like quiet elite status in the NFL, and they're like sort of on the pedestal. I don't know how else to put it.
So they are the opposite of, I won't even say Dak Prescott, quarterbacks for the Cowboys, because they are expected to be on a pedestal because they're America's teams, and everyone's either a Dallas fan or they hate them. You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
you could have, let's say, Dak Prescott. If you look at his numbers, his career numbers, right? You put him on any other team, he's a great quarterback. You leave him on Dallas, oh my God, that guy's shit. I wouldn't start him over anything, blah, blah, blah. Granted, last season he threw 15 interceptions, and he missed how many games? He had a bad year last year, but every single year for every Dallas quarterback, that's what it is. I think it's the team. I think if Herbert had been on the Cowboys playing the same, they would be calling for his, hey, get him off the team, trade him, blah 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 blah.
Mhm.
I think it's his team situation that's allowing people to not really talk badly about it.
So you think it more along the
Yeah.
lines the team he's on, like the Chargers, no one really like the Chargers are cool. Don't get me wrong, but like, that's not like California's team.
Who hates the Chargers?
Yeah, exactly. Like, or who like cares about the Chargers more or less? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Chargers fans.
you don't care about them enough to hate them. So
Mhm.
like,
Right.
I don't know. Like, they lose another game.
I think it's
and
that
just,
situation.
Like, in your head, you're just like, oh yeah, Chargers threw another game. But like,
Yeah.
Do you know what it is? Dude, I got it. You love Eckler. You love Keenan Allen. Okay. You have a love-hate relationship with Mike Williams.
very much.
You know, and then you have a love relationship with Justin Herbert because for the majority of his games, he's put up big numbers in fantasy and like because none of us care about the Chargers and they have cool looking uniforms. That white baby blue and yellow with the lightning bolt shit's fire.
Shit's
You know what
fire.
I'm saying? Yeah, like it's fire.
Mhm.
And so I just feel like it's just really hard to hate on the Chargers
And that's
from an overall perspective. But you're right. If Justin Herbert was a Cowboy and this was what happening, America would be
Mhm.
would be calling for Herbert's head. And every
Mhm.
non-America's team fan is going, this guy's a fucking scrub.
Yeah, no,
Mhm.
definitely. I think
You're right. You're right.
I think they fall under the radar almost as fact that they're
Because
still
nobody cares.
they're still fantasy relevant. So I feel like they get the pass there. You know what I'm saying? Like Herbert's still going to be fantasy relevant even if they lose a
Mhm.
game. Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, Austin Eckler, they're all still going to be fantasy relevant. So it's just like I feel like that just skews the point. Like I feel like Justin Herbert is on this pedestal where this guy can't fucking close out games, but he's scoring you 20 points a week. So you're like, that's my guy.
Yeah.
He scores enough to not care enough.
I guess so. Like I am stating this right now. I am on the Justin Herbert hate train for the rest of the season until he can prove that he can close out goddamn games. 'Cause I'd love to see the Chargers with that explosive offense and like the guys they have over there. I'd love to see them get into the playoffs and make a run. Like give somebody
you have
else.
him on one of your teams?
I have Herbert on one team.
Drop him then. Prove it.
No, he's gonna ride the goddamn bench. He's gonna ride the goddamn
Prove it.
bench.
Drop him.
You're the one that started this train, so you got to drop him off.
Come on,
All right,
doctor.
I'll trade you Justin Herbert for Kirk Cousins.
Wait, you have him in one of our leagues?
Yeah, in Toxic League. I'll trade you.
I'm not in Toxic League.
I have him in Crazy League. I'll trade you Kirk Cousins for Justin Herbert right now.
No, because I don't believe in Justin Herbert.
So
I did last season, and look what happened.
That's the only league I have him in. It was the Crazy League because I was like, okay, at least this guy gets yards, but he's not even. I mean, he's still getting yards. I'm just pissed off because like there's so much potential in that goddamn team to be like a really good AFC team. I don't know. I guess just sad for them. Just sad for Justin Herbert. But he needs to get some shit together. So I feel like people need to just start hurting him so that he can either play better.
Hold on, though. He's averaging you 140 points a week.
Hey, we talked about his fantasy relevance. I'm just saying, this man needs to close out goddamn games.
He
will the next 2 weeks.
Can we go over real quick top fives in the major stat categories real quick and just sort of talk about any surprises in those top fives?
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Kirk Cousins, let's start there.
Right. So quarterbacks at 1 we have Kirk Cousins. At 2 we have Jordan Love. At 3 we have America's most hated Justin Herbert. At 4 we have Russell Wilson, and at 5 we had Patrick Mahomes. And this is in standard scoring leagues, not for like crazy leagues. So I mean, Adam, what do you think of that top 5? Which one surprises you the most?
The Jordan Love. 100%.
Yeah.
Jordan Love surprises me. It also surprises me that Josh Allen and God damn it, Jalen Hurts are not in there. There's 4 guys that we did not expect to be in the top 5, and then there's Patrick Mahomes, who's at the bottom of that top 5. So yeah I think everyone you listed in there is a surprise, but Jordan Love definitely. I mean, he's coming in after Aaron Rodgers after just sitting on the bench for a while, and he's putting in some fantasy relevance.
Well said. All right, so Nick, do you want to give one, or does I feel like that kind of just covers the whole category?
No.
Yeah. All right. So for top 5 running backs, as I'm sure everybody expected, number 1, Christian McCaffrey. Number 2, Kyron Williams. Number 3, Bijan Robinson. Number 4, Tony Pollard. And number 5, nope, I mixed this up. I'm sorry. Brian Robinson is number 3, and Bijan Robinson is number 5. Excuse me. I do want to state that number 2 through 5 are within 3.9 points of each other. Just to be clear.
So
Yeah, Nick, what do you think?
Tyron Williams. It surprises me that he's up there, but I'm gonna jump out just outside that top 5. Number 6 is Mostert.
Yeah. Yeah, right. Well, that was fueled by a big week, though. I feel like everyone else here has been actually consistent in their
good
first
weeks.
2
Mhm.
games.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Mhm.
it'll be interesting to see how Miami's offense evolves. Is it gonna be as run heavy, or is it gonna be more receiver, like, Tua throwing for 450 yards?
Right.
Yeah, that's I agree with you, because I just don't think anyone saw anybody from Miami being anywhere close to even the top 10. Yeah.
I completely agree with you. I think the Brian Robinson one is a little shocking. We know this guy was good. I mean, he started off, he got shot last year going into the season, and then came back and he put up some good numbers last year, but he had a slow start week 1 against the Cardinals. I mean, the Cardinals have a decent run defense, but I mean, he put up points this last week, and he could show that he could be in your starting lineup.
Yeah, he deserves it at this point.
I think we all know wide receiver.
Let's go. Wide receiver top 5. Let's go.
All right. Wide receiver, top 5. Hold on. My bad.
Okay.
All right,
You
so
got it?
number 1, Tyreek Hill. Number 2, Pua Nakua. Number 3, Justin Jefferson. Number 4, Mike Evans. And number 5, Keenan Allen. And I want to throw an honorable mention at number 6.
Yes.
Nico fucking Collins. Respect. And it has, and it's been a 14-point week 1 and a 27.6 week 2. I mean, like, it's been a consistent 6. Obviously, I mean, Pua Nakua, just who the fuck saw that coming?
Yeah, nobody knew his name,
No,
and now everyone knows his name.
everyone. And it is a fun name to say, though, Pua Nakua.
It is a fun
Puka.
name to say.
Puka.
It's the new Hakuna Matata. It's
Puka Nakua.
Pua Nakua.
It's going to be Nakua and Cup going off this season. Watch. But yeah, I don't think anyone expected him to be there. Now he's on fucking thumbnails like, pick up this guy right away. But yeah, I also think, who was the third on there?
Justin Jefferson.
I'm sorry, who was the fourth?
Mike
Evans.
Mike Evans. I think Mike Evans is a shocker on there as well. Like, we all know the potential of Mike Evans, but going with Baker Mayfield, like, they have a real connection, and that's 2 weeks in a row. I think he got 18 the first week and then 29 the second week. So, I mean, solid stats there.
Well, Stephon Diggs is number 9.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Buffalo's looked shaky to start the season. They'll figure it out. But they have looked shaky.
Where is AJ Brown on that list?
That's what I was looking for. I can't go down that far.
He's probably like in the 40s.
Yeah, he's 44.
44. Yeah.
Jesus.
Just
rough.
right,
And for the
D-Hop.
record, Amari Cooper is 43 and D-Hop is 45. So literally Cooper, Brown, Hopkins, 43, 44, 45. And I think a lot of people had Cooper as a second or third round late second round pick, early third round pick, and 43.
They are right behind Marvin Mims.
The great Marvin Mims.
The great Marvin Mims. It's just, yeah, I mean, we just scroll this timetable back 2 years. those guys are in the top 5, and now they're sitting in the 40s. Which
Mhm.
I mean, it's week 2. Don't get me wrong; like it could change drastically. One week they pop off, then the next thing you know they're in the top 10. But we got to see it. We got to see it to believe it, especially with Mark Cooper. Like he has the talent.
Hmm.
Yeah,
I'm on tight ends now.
tight
Yeah.
ends.
All
This
right.
one's
So at number 1 we got Hawkinson. And I think if you're watching football, you know that. 2 Hunter Henry, 3 Evan Ingram, 4 Sal Laporta, and 5 Darren Waller. Technically, these two are tied with exactly 20.2 points right now. But there's your 4 and your 5 right there. And then
Hmm.
and then in 6 you have Hayden Hurst, and then 7 you have Zach Ertz, just to kind of give that little like next step there. But Nick, who catches you off guard here?
Who's Laporta?
Nobody, nobody knows.
No, honestly, this doesn't surprise me a whole lot. Yeah, it surprises me slightly, but without Kelsey, without Andrews playing both on week 1, it's not surprising, honestly. I mean, Andrews is 12th on this list. Kelsey's 20th, but I mean, Kelsey had what I think 25 yards and a touchdown,
Yeah,
Mhm.
something like that. So, I mean, he's coming back from injury. I don't think minus Hawkinson and maybe Ingram or Waller. I don't know. I don't see anybody still on this top list in another 2 weeks.
Agreed.
agreed. Yeah, Mark Andrews will slot in there. Kelsey will slot in there. We'll see another change. I think the Laporta from Detroit. I think he's going to stay fantasy relevant the whole year. The kid looks
Top
good
10
when
or
I,
top 5?
no, not top 5. I think on the cusp, maybe 7th or 8th throughout the year. But
Mhm.
looking at the kid play over there in Detroit, like he runs really good routes. Like,
He was a second round pick.
yeah,
He was their second round. That's if you're drafting a tight end at second round, he's special. He's special in your mind.
yeah, and then, I mean
You know what I'm saying?
they're showing it. They're getting him some looks over there, and
Mhm.
I think it's just going to develop even more. I mean, Amon Ra, if he's not available, they're going to check it. He's going to. I mean, Jared Goff's not a dumb quarterback. He's going to check it down to his tight end, and this kid looks special. I mean, we'll see how he ends up at the end of the season, but yeah, the tight end one's kind of like skewed right now because 2 weeks. I mean, tight ends usually don't score much anyways. With the fact that like Mark Andrews and Kelsey played 1 week and they're still top 20. So
All
Yeah,
right. So
it's
sorry.
go ahead.
I was just gonna move on from tight ends. I wasn't
Yeah,
sure
yeah.
if we were done with them
No,
or
yeah,
not.
we're done. I don't think there's much to say about them.
All right. So for kickers is actually really really funny, specifically in the Living Legacy League.
because none of us have the first 11.
11, the top 11 kickers in the league are all available on waivers right now. It is wild how stubborn we all are with our kickers.
We got our guy. We stick to him. God damn it.
It's wild. Like literally, not one of us owns a kicker with 20 or more points. And just for clarification's sake, there's 7 kickers with 20 or more points in the league.
So everybody in that league minus one could pick up a kicker and have a top 7 kicker.
Yeah, it's
Now,
wild. I mean, you love to see it, but it's
I
just a
think
crazy thing to see.
so. The first one we have is position 12. It's 11 and a half. Young Oku is tied. That's our first one that somebody has on our thing. And then we've got 2 tied for 19. You have Myers and Tucker. Butker's 21. Gay is 25. I have Daniel Carlson at 28. McPherson's tied for 28. Gano's 31. That's our kickers that we have in that league. I'm not switching.
I'm switching. I'll tell you right now. I'm switching. Goddamn
Yo,
kicker.
it's one of those positions where you're just like, nope, that's my fucking guy.
Yep.
I wasted a 15th round pick on him. That's my fucking guy.
He's ride or die all year unless he breaks his goddamn leg.
It's crazy.
Yeah, kicker's a weird position because I feel like that happens every year, and like maybe around like midseason, people finally realize like, okay, yeah, this guy's getting a lot of kicks. I need to throw him in the roster.
Yeah.
All right,
I
what
just
about,
picked up.
let's go to defenses. That's going to be a big surprise there.
All right.
No,
So
no surprises.
this is again another one of those situations where in the top 8, only 2 of the teams in that league are taken. So at number 1 with 62 points on the season is the Dallas Cowboys. For the record, who have I think they've got to. I'll have to look into this right after I'm done with this, but I want to know where they rank this season amongst points scored for all spots. Because it's got to be top 10. No,
Yeah, at least top 15.
yeah. So you got Cowboys 1, you got Steelers 2, which I think is interesting. And they're playing the Raiders this week, so you just feel like their defense is probably going to be good. Number 3, the Eagles. Number 4, the Buccaneers, and number 5, the Jaguars, and then number 6 called 7 Cardinals and 8 Commanders. So
Number
pretty,
1 on the season.
yeah. Congratulations. Let's move on. It's number 1 in the season.
Number 1 on the season with 62 points is the Dallas Cowboys. Number 2 on the season is Tyreek Hill at 59.5.
Wow.
Wow.
Number 3 is Puka Nacua at 52.
Yo, Nick, could you
Number
imagine?
4, though, is the Steelers defense that nobody has in this league. Hey, yeah, Adam's like, click, 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 click.
I'm gonna be right back real quick before this post.
No, it's crazy. I mean, it really is. It is crazy so far. That, like, I think that just shows how much we don't know about defense or special teams.
yeah, I think that.
Yeah. Yo, Nick, you know what's wild? If you pick the Cowboys with your number 1 overall pick, literally everyone would have given you shit for it all year. Imagine the fucking flexing you could do on week 2 right now, being like, what were you guys saying?
Well, I did. So I took Dallas defense before anybody really picks defenses. I took them, and they're like, people are like, why'd you pick that? Like, 1, you're taking a defense too early. 2, you've got like plenty better defenses. I'm like, it's what I know. It's what I've seen, what I know. That's all I can go off of.
Hey,
Now look at me.
look at you. Who would have thought? Who would have thought? Not me.
Who would have thought? Who would have thought?
But yeah, I mean, just running down those lists real quick, there's a lot of people in there that we did not expect of it. I mean, it's 2 weeks in. Let's do that again, probably around like week 8, and we'll really be able to see like who stayed and who actually came into form. So like, I mean, people like Jamar Chase, like I don't see like I can see him top 5 by week 8. I can see AJ Brown top 5 by week 8. Amari Cooper. I could see. I mean, CeeDee Lamb wasn't on that list, was he?
No, CD. I
And
can tell you.
he's had 2 pretty good weeks.
Pollard's up above Lamb. Obviously, Pollard's been doing great. There's
Got 30.
Lamb way
He's
down
got
there with 37.
37. Yeah. I mean, he's been good. It just hasn't been massive, but he's been. I'd be happy with 37 through the first. That means 20 points and 17 points in his first 2 weeks, right? That if that's what his floor is right there.
Well,
Cool.
his week 1 was, remember, it was very low because they didn't have to do anything. That was, sorry, Chad. Sorry to bring up bad memories.
No. It's the truth though. It's like
It was 12, basically 12 and 25.
Yeah.
Yeah, you take.
Yeah, I was just average. Sorry, when I was just like making averages.
No,
I didn't have actual stats. Thank you. But like, yeah, like even that though, I'm good with that because like you said, week 1, bro, the Giants got blown out 40-0. You put CeeDee Lamb to the side and you protect him when you're up 40-0.
Unless your name's Daniel Jones.
Yeah, you let him go on the field and deserve that.
Right there, then you have him out there down 40-0 with 4 minutes and 32 seconds left in the game, and it's raining out.
And then you go down 60-0, and then come back and win against the goddamn Arizona Cardinals because why not?
That shit hurt. You know, speaking. By the way, I mean, listen. But like Barkley's not playing this week. He's not playing
Mhm.
tomorrow. He's hurt. He sprained his right ankle in that game, and you know he's probably gonna miss like 3 to 4 weeks, or maybe 2 to 3 weeks.
Yeah,
But
and that was at the end of the game too.
yep. So you know, as if the Giants' season woes haven't. Even though we won that game, man, we had 6 real rough quarters to start the season.
Oh yeah, I feel like the Cardinals went into the locker room and are like, "Hey guys, we're supposed to be tanking this season. Take about 50% off." And then they came out and they're like,
Mhm.
"All right, Dobbs, let's just close my eyes and throw it over there. Fuck it." Because like they looked so good in the first half. I don't know what
Yeah, they did.
happened. The only way I can think about it is the coach came down, or the GM came down, and was like, "Hey, listen, fuckers, we want
Hey,
Caleb Williams next year, so I'm gonna need you
enough of
guys
that.
to, yeah, I'm gonna need you guys to keep it close, but let them win, please." Yeah, it was
Yeah,
ridiculous.
yeah, that was a pretty crazy comeback. It's you know what? The thing is, right? You watch Daniel Jones in the second half of that game, right? He was money that second half of the game. This is what drives me nuts about this dude is you watch him do those things and you're just like, wait, bro, what are you doing? Like, why is it not just always like this? And
But
all right, new players, new system, still figuring things out. I hope to see this consistently from them, but I don't. I don't have faith. I'll just leave it at that.
All I know is Nick's gonna have another big week next week with the defense because they're going against the Arizona Cardinals, and they're probably gonna put up 40 points. So,
Which is
congratulations
wild.
to your week 3 wins, Nick.
Yeah, yeah. Congratulations, Nick. You're doing
just
great.
wait. Hey, week 7. I don't know who I'm playing week 7, but you got to win on me.
Yeah, because all your whole team's gone. Your whole team's gone week 7. We only got to worry about it 1 week, so you're fine.
Yeah, that is exactly. I am okay with that.
Nick knew going into the season not to bet, put money down on the bet for going undefeated. He went and go, nope. There's a guaranteed L. Week 7.
Mm-hmm.
Week 7.
Week 7, by the way, in Easy Dubs, I play Matt. So that's
You're
that's
giving it to a fucking Eagles fan. You're
I
the
it's
you're the worst, Nick.
just just yeah, and then no, but this is the one where week 7. Let's see, it's Legacy League.
Yeah, Dynasty. Who are you playing in Dynasty
Like,
week 7?
that's what I'm
Your mic's cutting out.
trying to figure out. Jesus Christ.
Sorry. He just made that face.
I'm clicking too fast.
Tell that hamster to run faster. Come on, let's
Oh
go.
no. Oh no.
He's playing Zane.
It's
He's playing Zane week 7. Get that guy a free win. He's already got 2 wins. He doesn't need more. How dare you?
I hope you're happy, Zane.
I hope
watch
you're
me do
happy.
it anyways. Watch me do it
I'm
anyways.
gonna trade you players just for that week, and then we can trade back.
Got it.
At least don't matter, right? Just kidding. But yeah, let's call it in for the podcast. I think that was a great one. We ran pretty much right on time with what we wanted. We filled in a little bit because we don't have a guest for this week. Next week we will have a guest. I will make sure that
My
somebody is on the podcast next week. I know Jonah made some interest in wanting to come on the podcast, so that'd be fun to kind of see him. He's starting off the season pretty hot with 2-0.
Mm-hmm.
Well, maybe now we do have to talk to the champ as well.
I mean, do we really have to talk to the champ?
I told him, I said, listen here, champ. You could come on and talk to us early about all your wins.
All right. We'll talk to Isaiah next week. We'll make sure we'll pencil it in. We'll get him in here at the end of the podcast, and then the week after that, we'll bring on Jonah, and then anybody else that wants to, come on the podcast and joke around with the boys and talk to us about fantasy football and tell us how bad we are because we go 0-6, and yeah, that'd be awesome. And I can get out of this goddamn shirt. It's burning me right now. So if anybody has anything last to say, go ahead and say it.
You look terrible, Adam.
I do.
Please take that shirt off
You
as
look
soon as you
amazing.
possibly can. Hold on, Nick. Hold on for a second. Burn it to the fucking
Wait, take it off
ground.
now. Hey, hold on. Take it off now.
I
Prove how
am
much
not
you hate it.
taking it off right now. No one ever sees me
Do a
without my
little-
goddamn shirt on.
do a little viral.
All right, well, we all appreciate you guys for riding with us for episode 3 of the podcast. As always, my beautiful co-hosts, I appreciate you guys, and thank you guys for watching. As always, hit the subscribe button if you guys enjoyed the content, and go ahead and smash that like button. It really helps us out, and tell your friends about us because you guys can see clowns.
We need it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys can
Yeah,
see
we're
clowns.
trying to make YouTube money, and so we need you to tell everyone.
You tell everybody. Tell your grandma.
Tell everyone. Everyone.
Just put it on our TV. Don't even tell her. She's gonna come in the room and be like,
Yeah,
"What's on the TV?"
Just steal
So
your grandma's.
Yeah, send it.
Yeah. Also, if you're a hacker and you can broadcast this out to every single screen in the entire world, that'd be great. Let us know.
Thanks, Steve. We appreciate that.
Appreciate you, Steve. Thank you.
All right, everyone, have a great night. We appreciate you guys for watching us. As always, be great. Have a great night. Peace.